This is WJZ News, all local news at 6.
A loose cable, that's what investigators say caused a power outage on the Dali cargo ship moments before the ship struck the Key Bridge, leading to its collapse. Hello, everybody. I'm Nikki Zizaza. Welcome to WJZ's All Local News at 6. Now, that small cable caused the most expensive maritime disaster in Maryland history and is among 24 new findings the National Transportation Safety Board released at an exhaustive hearing earlier today. WJZ investigator Mike Helgren is live at the memorial to the victims, breaking down the NTSB investigation. Mike.
Nikki, that cable is so tiny. It's just incredible. And WJZ Investigates was first to report about the troubles with that very cable as part of a lawsuit that the ship's owner brought against Hyundai Heavy Industries. Now, the NTSB also found that there were no infrared scanners done as part of routine maintenance that could have detected the problem before tragedy struck.
It was to fit right in here to ensure you had connection for the system, and it just didn't fit.
The National Transportation Safety Board found this small cable and its misplaced thick white label caused the Dali's initial power failure and a cascading set of problems, ultimately causing the ship to slam into the Key Bridge.
I like to say it's like a needle in a haystack. It is so hard to find. And having our team, which is very meticulous to find these things, it took a really long time to do that.
The NTSB also found the way mechanical and electrical systems were configured on the Dali cost precious time as the crew scrambled to stop the tragedy, with settings preventing those on board from quickly restarting emergency generators and a lack of redundant safety systems. The board did not find fault with the crew.
This tragedy should have never occurred. Lives should have never been lost. As with all accidents that we investigate, this was preventable.
The exhaustive hearing into the probable cause of the disaster included a new image of the bridge as it collapsed and of the last vehicle to cross safely. The NTSB investigation criticized the state for failing to properly warn the 6 construction workers who lost their lives during the collapse and proposed new regulations to do so. But investigators praised the MDTA officers who stopped traffic.
The timeliness of the law enforcement officers on that bridge to shut down that traffic saved lives.
The board also found fault with Maryland officials for failing to conduct a vulnerability assessment of the bridge and say the risk of the Key Bridge's collapse was 30 times higher than what was acceptable, and the state had been warned.
In 2006, an MDTA representative had mentioned that the pier protection was inadequate.
Was any meaningful action taken?
No.
The state now says the replacement bridge will cost between $4.3 and $5.2 billion, a sharp rise from the initial estimate of $1.7 to $1.9 billion. And the MDTA pushed back the timeline for completion from late 2028 to late 2030.
You have costs that are higher than you initially projected. It's a concern. We just want to work as closely as possible with the federal government to help them understand what we understand now.
AMDTA's executive director says the cost estimates could change yet again. We should know more in June. The Trump administration has been concerned about this. It's on their radar, and they will be closely watching the project. Reporting live in your corner at Hawkins Point, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
Mike, thank you. Now, the Maryland Transportation Authority just released a statement on today's report saying, in part, the MDTA maintains that the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge and the tragic loss of life were the sole fault of the Dali and the gross negligence of its owners and operators. The Key Bridge was approved and permitted by the federal government and complied with those permits.